Hello everyone, my name is Mike Flynn and welcome to the CypNest portion of our demonstration. CypNest is a robust nesting software with built-in drawing and editing functionality. Let's take a quick tour. Here we have the opening screen. We have some shortcuts to previously worked on nests and options for a new nest or a new drawing. Let's select a new nest and get started. Here we have the plates page. We can select our material and its characteristics. We have the option of automatically applying cutting techniques, sometimes called parameters or technology, to our plate. Let's create this 5x10 plate out of 14 gauge mild steel. Here we have our main nesting window. CypNest is broken into 4 panes. On the left, we have the parts pane. Across the top, we have our toolbox. On the right, we have the plates plane. And across the bottom, we have an informational pane. Let's get a part going. Now you can see our part in the parts pane. Let's add another part so we can fill out our nest. In this part, you'll notice that CypNest has identified some bend lines pulled over from the drawing. We have a few options on how we want to process these lines. We can process them like a regular parameter if we wanted to cut or mark the lines. We can etch the lines as an indication for where to bend, or we can omit the lines entirely. I know with our DNE C-bend press brake, I don't need any bend line indicators, so I'll omit these lines. Go ahead and apply, and open our nest. Now that we have a couple of parts, let's add some part quantities and start our nest. CypNest has many options for defining parameters in the nesting. Here we have options for what to do if the parts don't all fit on the selected plate. We can add another plate, we can leave the parts in inventory. Here we have some options for can we mirror the parts or rotate the parts. Maybe you want to keep everything with the material grain, so you don't want them rotated. We have an option for nesting for speed or plate utilization, and some options for creating co-edged parts to save on some space on our sheet. Let's let CypNest automatically nest these parts. Now that our parts are nested, we can apply some lead lines and apply a sort, and our parts will be ready to cut. Let's select our parts and add a quick lead line. We're going to allow CypNest to make its own decisions. All I'm going to tell it is I want a line at 90 degrees. Click Apply. Give it a second. It's going to modify any existing lead lines that it can't fit in the nest, and now you can see we have lead lines in all of our parts. Now, before we send it off to the machine, let's quick sort it so that our internal geometry is cut before our external geometry, and we'll be ready to go to the machine. I'm going to come up here, click Auto Sort. Again, some options for sorting by part, as well as sorting within the part. I'm going to leave this under heat dissipation because we have a lot of small holes and we don't want to warm our plate up and warp everything. And I will let CypNest use Smart Sort to decide the order of the parts themselves. Alright, you can see that all of our lead lines have been applied, and the last thing we're going to do is export our part. We click Export, we save the file, and we're ready to go. The last thing I'm going to do is just file a report so that we can follow our parts through production. And our operators will know what parts and what quantities, as well as tracking throughout the rest of the process. Here you can see our report. We have options for our names and customers and some costing options. We're going to go ahead and export this or print it, and we can send that along with our job. I'll see you out at the laser so we can card our parts.